Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something today that might seem a little counterintuitive: kindness. We are taught to believe in the power of kindness, in giving, in love, and in compassion, and yes, that power is real. But there are moments when kindness can backfire, when it can become a roadblock on your journey instead of a stepping stone. Here are 6 ways kindness can actually work against you, and more importantly, how you can transform that understanding into true empowerment. 1. When kindness becomes people-pleasing, it crosses a line where your desire to be kind starts turning into a habit of constantly seeking approval and avoiding conflict. People-pleasing comes from a place of fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, or fear of disappointing others. It often leads you to say yes to things you don't really want to do, to agree when you disagree, and to prioritize other people's needs over your own. Here's the thing: when you act out of a need to please others rather than from genuine kindness, you lose touch with your own needs, boundaries, and authentic self. Over time, this can lead to resentment, exhaustion, and even a sense of losing your identity. People may start expecting you to always accommodate them, and when you eventually can't or don't, they may get upset, which leaves you feeling even worse. True kindness is giving from a place of strength, love, and authenticity. But people-pleasing is driven by a deep need for external validation. It's important to remember that your worth isn't defined by how much you do for others. You have the right to say no when something doesn't align with your values, energy, or well-being. Setting boundaries doesn't make you any less kind. In fact, it ensures that when you are kind, it's genuine, sustainable, and comes from the heart, not out of obligation or fear. Real kindness should elevate both you and the people around you, not drain you. 2. When kindness is seen as weakness, people may misinterpret your generosity, compassion, or willingness to help as a sign that you are easily manipulated or taken advantage of. Unfortunately, in a world that often values assertiveness and self-interest, some people view kindness as vulnerability. They assume that because you are kind, you lack strength, boundaries, or the ability to stand up for yourself. This misconception can lead to others trying to exploit your good nature. They might make unreasonable demands, push you to your limits, or treat you as someone who can always be counted on to give in. People may expect you to tolerate bad behavior, thinking that you won't push back because of your kind heart. But here's the truth: kindness is not a weakness, it is a profound strength. It takes courage to be kind in a world that can often be harsh and unforgiving. Real kindness comes from a place of confidence and inner peace. It's a choice you make not because you have to, but because you want to, and because you believe in love, connection, and positivity. The key is to balance your kindness with boundaries. You can be kind and still say no. You can be compassionate and still refuse to be treated poorly. When others mistake your kindness for weakness, it's an opportunity to show them that kindness and strength go hand in hand. You can stand firm in your values without sacrificing your humanity. True strength is in maintaining your kindness, even when others don't deserve it, but never allowing them to exploit it. 3. When kindness is not reciprocated, it can feel disheartening, especially if you've given your time, energy, or support to someone only to receive little or nothing in return. We naturally expect some level of appreciation or acknowledgement when we are kind, whether it's through a thank you, a return favor, or even just mutual respect. But the reality is, kindness doesn't always get reciprocated in the way we hope or expect. This can happen in many areas of life: relationships, friendships, workplaces, and even with strangers. You might go out of your way to help someone, support them in tough times, or make sacrifices for their benefit, and they might respond with indifference, take it for granted, or even use your kindness to their advantage. It can leave you feeling unappreciated, hurt, or questioning whether kindness was worth it. However, it's important to remember that true kindness doesn't come with conditions or strings attached. When you are kind from a place of authenticity, it means you are giving freely without the expectation of getting something in return. You are doing it because it's who you are, not because you want something back. This shift in mindset can protect your heart from disappointment. That said, not all situations are healthy, and sometimes consistent lack of reciprocity can signal a need for boundaries. If someone continually takes without giving, or if you feel drained and unappreciated, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship or adjust how much kindness you extend in that direction. Kindness should not leave you feeling empty. 4. When kindness leads to burnout, it means that in your effort to be there for others, helping, giving, and supporting, you end up neglecting your own needs, which can leave you emotionally, mentally, and physically drained. While kindness is a beautiful quality, constantly putting others before yourself without taking time to rest and replenish can cause you to reach a breaking point. This often happens when you give too much of yourself without boundaries. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in your community, you might feel obligated to say yes to every request, to offer help whenever needed, and to be the go-to person for everyone else's problems. Over time, this selflessness can pile up, and you may start to feel overwhelmed, exhausted, or even resentful. You find yourself constantly running on empty, but still feeling the pressure to keep giving. Burnout from kindness shows up in various ways: constant fatigue, irritability, loss of joy in activities you once loved, and even physical symptoms like headaches or sleep disturbances. You might also start feeling detached, where the very people and causes you care deeply about no longer spark the same passion. This is a sign that your inner resources have been depleted. The key to preventing kindness from leading to burnout is learning to set boundaries and prioritize self-care. You need to recognize that you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking time for yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. But you are better equipped to help others when you are emotionally and mentally well rested. 5. When kindness fosters dependency, it means that by constantly offering help, support, or resources to someone, you unintentionally encourage them to rely on you instead of developing their own independence. While your intentions are good, too much kindness, especially without boundaries, can prevent others from learning how to handle challenges on their own. They start to depend on your kindness as a crutch rather than building their own resilience, problem-solving skills, or self-sufficiency. This often happens in relationships where one person is always saving or helping the other. You might feel responsible for their well-being, and so you step in to fix their problems, make decisions for them, or offer support even when they're capable of managing on their own. Over time, this can create an unhealthy dynamic where they stop taking responsibility for their actions or circumstances because they know you'll always be there to catch them. While helping others is important, the line between support and fostering dependency is crossed when your kindness inhibits someone's personal growth. When people become dependent on your help, they may not learn the lessons they need to face life's difficulties, make mistakes, and grow from them. By always stepping in, you're denying them the chance to build their own inner strength and resourcefulness. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be kind or supportive, but it's crucial to recognize when your kindness is enabling someone instead of empowering them. True kindness is helping people to help themselves, offering support when necessary, but also stepping back to allow them to stand on their own 2 feet. It's about knowing when to guide and when to let go. A balanced approach to kindness means encouraging independence. You can offer advice, provide guidance, or help when someone truly needs it, but you also allow them the space to learn from their experiences. This way, your kindness becomes a tool for their growth, not a source of dependency. 6, when kindness prevents necessary conflict, it means that in an effort to avoid upsetting others or to maintain harmony, you hold back from addressing important issues or confronting problems that need to be resolved. You might believe that being kind means avoiding any form of confrontation, so you choose to stay silent or downplay your feelings to keep the peace. While this can seem like a form of kindness in the short term, it often leads to bigger problems in the long run. Avoiding conflict might feel like you're being considerate of others, but what's actually happening is that you're suppressing your own needs, concerns, or boundaries. This can create resentment, frustration, and tension that builds over time. When you avoid difficult conversations, you're not allowing the opportunity for growth, healing, or resolution. The unresolved issues don't go away, they often get worse. For example, in a relationship, if you're constantly accommodating someone's behavior that bothers you but never speak up because you want to be kind, the problem doesn't get fixed. Over time, your frustration grows, and eventually the relationship may break down because the issues were never addressed. Similarly, in a workplace, If you don't bring up a conflict with a colleague or manager because you don't want to rock the boat, it could lead to ongoing misunderstandings or an unhealthy work environment. What's important to understand is that kindness and conflict are not opposites. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is engage in a difficult conversation or address a problem head-on. Constructive conflict, when done with respect and honesty, can lead to deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and personal growth. It allows everyone involved to voice their concerns, clear the air, and find a solution that benefits everyone. True kindness involves honesty, and sometimes that means having uncomfortable conversations. It's about being brave enough to address what needs to be addressed while still being compassionate. By doing so, you not only protect your own well-being, but you also give others the opportunity to grow and learn through the experience. Healthy conflict can lead to better communication, stronger relationships, and a more authentic, peaceful life.